Okay, today we're going to cover on human system and digestive system. I think for digestive system, you probably have learned it in primary 3 already, right? So this one is probably in primary 3. Then in terms of human system, it might be a new topic for some of you, but I believe for some of you, probably they have already started it in school, right? So when it comes to human systems, I think we are focused on these 5 of them: digestive, respiratory, circulatory, skeletal, and muscular. Okay, I think the main thing is really to identify and to state the functions. Okay, so when it comes to identifying, I think you also need to identify the organs as well. What are the organs that belong to the different system? Okay, so that's one of the learning objectives. Now, since we are also going to cover, usually human system is in P4. Okay, some schools might do digestive system in P4, but mostly I believe you would have covered digestive system in primary 3 already, right? Yeah. Okay, so for digestive system, of course, also is the same underlying concept, is that we need to know the parts in the human digestive system, and on top of that, we need to know their functions. So it's always parts and functions, parts and functions. Okay, and also you need to know the functions of the system as a whole, right? Okay, apologies, I will need to change. Let me change my name first. I think for Kelvin and Ariano, you do know my name, right? But for the rest, I think you don't know yet. I mean, I think for Bella. Someone type something. Oh, okay. Bella, you're in Casuarina. Casuarina is at Pasir Ris, right? Okay, great. Yeah. I mean, I used to live very near to Casuarina. Okay, but I've since moved somewhere else, I still live in the east. Okay, so that's Casuarina Primary. Great. Okay. So I think first thing first, we will cover, like I said, you need to know parts and functions, okay, for all the different systems. So let's start with parts first. So what are the parts of the digestive system? You do need to know the mouth, the gullet, the stomach, the small intestine, and large intestine. Anus is not in syllabus. I think it's still good to know what is the function of the anus. Okay, you might have heard of rectum as well. But rectum and anus are both not in syllabus. Okay, so the main function of the digestive system, so these are the different parts, right? So now we are talking about the functions. So the main function of the digestive system would be break down food into simple substances. Okay, a lot of students might write smaller pieces. Okay, not really a main function. Okay, you should use the term simple substances instead. Okay. Now, the second function of the digestive system is to absorb. Okay, absorb nutrients in terms of like digested food, right? Absorbs digested food, nutrients, minerals, water to be used by the body. Yeah. And lastly, it is mainly to store undigested food until it's removed. Now, I think for this one, we are referring to the rectum because the rectum stores the feces until it's being released. And of course, for this one, when we talk about digested food and nutrients, we are referring to the small intestine. Because the small intestine is the place where food is being digested. The digested food is being absorbed. Okay, so that's in the small intestine. Now, when we talk about minerals and water, we are talking about the large intestine because the large intestine is the one that helps to absorb water into the bloodstream. Okay, then in general, this is basically describing the digestion process. Okay, it describes the digestion process and which organs do digestion take place in your mouth, in your stomach, and in your small intestine. Does digestion take place in your gullet? No. Does digestion take place in your large intestine? No. Okay, so this basically sums up the topic on digestive system. Of course, we're going to move on to other parts, other systems in your body. Respiratory system, you will learn in detail in P5. Okay, next year, when you're in P5, you're going to learn a bit more about the respiratory system. But at P4 is really just to introduce you to that. So similarly, you are expected to know the parts and the functions. Okay, the parts of the respiratory system will be your nose, okay, windpipe, and your lungs. So this is basically your nose, your windpipe, and your lungs. Yeah, so I would say that in general, I think this one we can summarize it as performs gaseous exchange. Basically, it really is just the exchange of gases, which is the function of the respiratory system. So the air that is rich in oxygen is being transported to your lungs, and at your lungs is where the gaseous exchange will take place. So at the lungs, it's where the air that is full of oxygen will be transported into your bloodstream. And then it's also the place whereby they will take up the air that contains a lot of carbon dioxide as a waste material. Then it gets removed out of your body. Okay, so that's the respiratory system parts and functions. Okay, but don't worry, you're going to learn more about it when you're in primary 5. Yeah. Okay, next one, also something that you're going to learn in detail in P5. Okay, circulatory system. So you have your respiratory system, you have your circulatory system. The parts in that makes up your circulatory system will be your heart, your blood vessels, and the blood that you find inside your blood vessels. Okay, so two functions. Okay, two functions for circulatory system. One, you notice the different things that it transports. Yeah. So firstly, it can transport oxygen, digested food, nutrients, minerals, and water. And this one will be useful for our body. So basically, they transport it to different parts of the body. Now, on the other hand, it also transports waste materials, which is the second function, right? And where does it transport the waste materials? It just transports it away from the different parts of the body. So that's why circulatory system has two functions. Function number one is the substances that it transports to the body. Function number two is the substances it transports away from the body. Okay? Any questions? Excuse me. Any questions so far? Okay. 3 systems, right? So far, I think we've covered digestive, respiratory, circulatory. Okay, next two are kind of linked, I would think, because they work hand in hand. Okay, which is a skeletal system as well as a muscular system. Okay, so same thing, parts such as your bones. Okay, the skeletal system, it makes up your bones. The bones make up your skeletal system, and there are many bones. In the adult human, there are about 206 bones altogether. In the children or baby or toddler, they might have more. But as you grow up, eventually the bones will fuse. They will come together. So become lesser bones. Usually for babies, there are 300 over bones. Okay, that's why they always say the baby's bones are very soft, right? So support. One main function of the skeletal system is to support the body, gives it shape. But at the same time, okay, so these are the functions. So function number one, This one, it actually works with muscular system. Okay, so it works with the muscular system to provide the body with its shape as well as support the body. Now, the second function is very important as well. It protects delicate organs such as the heart, the lungs, and the brain. Okay, because the skull protects the brain, right? Okay, so just now as I was saying, something works with the skeletal system, which is your muscular system. So these two last systems actually work together very well. Yeah, and muscular system, of course, is made up of muscles. So the different parts of the muscular system are made up of muscles. And the function is to enable parts of the body to move. So it basically works together with the skeletal system to make it happen. Okay, right? Okay, so basically this table summarizes everything. Okay, yes, Kelvin, you have a question. Yes, Kelvin? No? You accidentally raised, is it? Okay. Yeah, so basically this table summarizes it, the different parts of the different systems, the functions of the systems, okay? So now let's take turns to answer this. Who wants to start first? Which system is it that comprises the heart, blood, and blood vessels? Any volunteers? Kelvin?
Circulatory system.
Very good. Okay, Kelvin, call someone else.
Ariano.
Ariano, which system that comprises of the nose, windpipe, and lungs? Ariano, where are you? Ariano? I'm gonna ask him to unmute. Yes,
Respiratory.
please. Very good. Okay, respiratory system. Okay, Ariano, call someone else.
Kelvin.
Kelvin. Okay, which system comprises of both?
Skeletal.
Good. Okay, Kelvin, call someone else.
Ariano.
Ariano. Okay, which system comprises of muscles? Ariano? Yes, I think Bella wants to help. I can't hear you though, Bella. I think maybe your speaker, there's something wrong. You might want to type. Oh, okay. Can you try again?
Muscular system.
Very good. Okay, muscular system. Well done. Okay, Bella, call someone else.
Ariano.
Ariano, last one. Which system comprises of the mouth, the gullet, the stomach, and the intestine?
Digestive.
Very good. Well done. Okay, seems like you're very familiar with the different parts and the systems. Good. Well done. Okay, so now we have to put our theory into practice, right? Because I always believe practice makes perfect, yeah? So we're going to cover the questions which you've done. I think one of you did your homework. Okay, I think it was quite, but you didn't score very well. Okay, I will not reveal who. Out of 20 questions, I think you only managed to get 7 correct. So I think you need to pay a bit more attention, okay? Yeah, it's okay, but I still want to really commend you on even attempting the work. I think that's a very good first step to take, okay? Right? So let's move on to the questions. First question, which of the following human body system work together? Right? Work together to provide energy. Okay, now let's